For the latest information regarding the COVID-19 pandemic in Cupertino, please visit cupertino.org/coronavirus.
Gracias. So now we will give a brief statement in English and take questions in English. My name is Corina Herrera Loera, Public Information Officer for Santa Clara County. Our message today, as you see us here, leaders in our community, united to let our families know to celebrate from home this year. We know the Virgin of Guadalupe, we celebrate in this community, especially in this community of Our Lady of Guadalupe, in high numbers in other years, which is a very beautiful celebration. And this year we get to take that celebration into our homes to save lives. There's 55.8% of positive cases in our county of COVID-19 that are Latino, and we are only 25.8% of the cases in our county in the population. So we are being affected the most. Please stay home this year. Our beds, we have 0 beds left at the Regional Medical Center, which is the hospital that our Eastside community has for our members. And now I'm going to bring the bishop, the Reverend Bishop Oscar Cantu.
Good morning to everyone. Just a reminder that everything during this pandemic has been different, and the celebration of Our Lady of Guadalupe is going to be different. It has to be different this year. We may be aware that even the Basilica in Mexico City has closed down to the public, and that seems to be unheard of. But because we are in an extraordinary time of pandemic, it calls for extraordinary measures, and that is what we're carrying out. Even Pope Francis has encouraged people to stay home during this feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Out of his concern for people's faith, he has given a plenary indulgence to people who stay home, create a small altar in their home, and follow the Mass on television or on internet from their homes. And so we're also reminded that 500 years ago, when Mary appeared to St. Juan Diego, and she didn't come on a motorcycle, but she appeared to Juan Diego. Juan Diego was concerned about his sick uncle who was dying at home. And Mary said, "Don't worry. Am I not here who am your mother?" And it was at that moment that Mary went and appeared to Juan Diego's uncle, who was ill in bed, and healed him. So what I say is that Mary, this year of pandemic, comes to our homes. So we encourage you to celebrate and practice your faith from home, from that safety. And continue to pray for each other, continue to keep each other safe with all of the protocols of this pandemic.
Thank you, Bishop. And I just want to highlight that we have various leaders from our community here. We have Mayor Pro Tem Ivan Martinez Beltran. I wanted to make sure I got the entire name. Welcome. Thank you for being here and standing with us. We have Andres Quintero, who's a trustee for the Alum Rock School District. We have Omar Torres, who is for Evergreen City College, our colleges here in the area, and the various leaders that you've heard from already. We are here to ask you to please stay home this weekend and celebrate our Virgin from home. And at this point, I will take questions from the press in English, if there are any.
I have a question for over the past week, we've had other faiths who have kind of battled in the court for more in-person services. Can you just kind of talk to me about, as a leader of the faith community, about Absolutely. Um, Especially, I can speak for the Catholic faith that we're a faith of faith and reason, and so because we are people of faith doesn't eliminate what is reasonable, and so we are absolutely concerned for the health and well-being of the general public and also of our own congregants. And so out of that concern, from the very beginning, before anyone asked us to, we closed down out of concern for the common good, out of concern for people's health and lives. And so we have maintained the protocol that has been called for by health experts, particularly here in this county. I've been in contact with Dr. Cody and communicated with her my concerns. And so I have not seen, although nobody likes these protocols, nobody likes wearing masks and distancing and so forth, but they're not unreasonable. They're very reasonable. And so we maintain them as long as they are reasonable. And so I don't, that is the balance that we see.
Follow-up. Can you talk about the creativity that some of your congregations have shown in terms of adapting technology, doing Zooms, putting streaming services on Facebook, car processions through communities to keep kind of that connection?
Absolutely. There's been tremendous creativity in our parishes by our pastors and our parish leaders. One example at one of our parking lot masses where people stay in their cars. They do it by shortwave radio, so everybody's able to tune in. And even the person that sings, out of concern for safety for everyone else, she stays in her own car and sings from her car, from the safety of her car, and everybody else hears it. So they're using technology to continue to worship and to practice their faith. And so much work of our churches has continued through live streaming, through Zoom, through various other platforms.
Just out of curiosity, what parish is that?
That is Our Lady of Labang, downtown.
Is there anything you'd like to say, Bishop, about Calvary Chapel itself? Would you go as far to say that them holding indoor services for months now irresponsible?
Well, I'm not aware of all of the details of that case, so I'll leave that between them, that church, and the courts. But certainly for us, it has not been, even though the protocol have been difficult, they've been strenuous, as they have been for everyone. They're not unreasonable.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I heard that there's going to be door-to-door testing. Is that true?
Yes, we do have, through the Santa Clara County, we will be having door-to-door testing, and the announcement went out yesterday. Thank you.
Okay. Can you give us a sense of what you think what is going to happen once the county runs out of ICU beds? Like, are patients going to be taken out of the county for care, or like what is the plan?
So our point here today is to ensure that that doesn't happen. We hope we do not run out of beds here in Santa Clara County. There are various options on the table, and I couldn't speak on the one option that we will move in next.
I was listening to your remarks in Spanish, and I think I heard you say, forgive me if I'm wrong, about your fond memories of this celebration.
Sure.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about perhaps the challenge of convincing the community. Talk to me differently for everyone.
I think anyone who's grown up in the Catholic Church at some point was pulled out of bed at 4 a.m. by their mother, and including my own children. I mean, these are, we didn't like it at 4 a.m. when we were little, but these are the memories that now we hold very, very dear. And now that my mother is gone, and I'd love to be able to celebrate this year in the same manner. It's 2020 has posed many challenges. We've had to do many things very differently, and so today it's no different. It's going to be a different celebration, and so this is the purpose of having everyone here to be able to send out this message. We've adjusted. We're adjusting, and the message today really is sacrificing today ensures the celebration of many, many more years to come. So we sacrifice Thanksgiving in order to have many more Thanksgivings. We sacrifice how we do our celebration to our beautiful, beloved Lady in order to be able to celebrate. And so we hope that our community is hearing it. I have to tell you that in La Basilica, which is where she appeared in El Tepeyac in Mexico City, they've closed the gates for the first time in decades. Some people don't even remember the last time that happened. Pilgrims have been walking for weeks only to find that now the gates are closed. And millions of people descend upon La Basilica in Mexico City. In Los Angeles, 40,000 people show up to the celebration. They made their announcement weeks ago that was not going to happen. About 10,000 people show up here over a 2-day span. And so we need to make sure that here in this zip code, which has some of the highest numbers in the entire county, we need to make sure that we're not going to exacerbate our capacity in ICU. But the other thing that I think we're missing is we can't continue to put under duress our frontline workers, those who are taking care of us, those who are in the ICU or simply in the emergency room. We're missing also those individuals who are taking such great care of us. They're stressed out, they're going home, they're putting themselves at risk. We have to also keep in mind those folks are also getting sick and we're running out of additional help. So we have to make sure that we take care of each other. This is unlike anything we've ever seen. So it's one sacrifice that we're making. Everybody is making accommodations so that we celebrate in a very different way. So we'll have different memories this year. But it will ensure many, many more years to come with our loved ones. Thank you.
You'll take one more question. If anybody else. No?
Can someone just talk a little bit about the redesign? It's my understanding that there's a procession that you can go through here as a way to sort of do the celebration safely.
So just to reiterate, the message today is to stay at home. Now we do have volunteers ready in case, people that did not receive that message or, that encouragement come by. We, have to have people in place to be ready. We don't have a set procession or anything like that that's being announced. So we are encouraging people to stay home. We do have, a plan ready in case, people come by, but the message today is for people to stay home and celebrate from their homes. Unless, would you like to add anything?
No vendors.
Okay. Thank you so much. We will be here for any other questions, as some of us might have to leave to do duties, but some of us will stay if there's any further questions. At this time I'll end. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Algunos nos quedaremos para poder responder preguntas y gracias por venir.
For the latest information regarding the COVID-19 pandemic in Cupertino, please visit cupertino.org/coronavirus.